Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now in today's episode we're going to be discussing the much anticipated Windows Vista upgrade attempt on the iPod running Mojo Pack, which if you missed the initial video, we took a look at a pretty cool piece of software called Mojo Pack, which allows you to run a portable instance of Windows XP off of an iPod or another USB storage device. And at the end of that video I talked about the possibility of upgrading what I thought was a Windows XP installation on this iPod to Windows Vista. And we actually got this set up to load, and I ended off that video with, well, we'll take a look at this next time, and we ended the video off there. But unfortunately, I'm going to cut right to the chase. There is no way we're going to be able to do this, and we're going to be talking about why in today's video. The short of it is, I kind of messed up, because what I said in the initial video, I said a couple times that, oh, this is like a Windows XP virtual machine running off of this iPod. Yeah, you think we can upgrade this thing to Windows Vista? It is a virtual machine. It's certainly possible. That's actually not true, and a couple people pointed this out to me, that this is not a completely independent installation of Windows XP, and it's not a virtual machine. It is still virtualization, and that is mentioned very frequently, many times on the website. It's still running a Windows XP environment from this iPod, but it is more similar to a sandbox application, kind of like Sandboxy, where it is a separate environment that allows you to run programs without affecting your host computer, but it relies on the host computer to function properly. Like, you have to have an installation of Windows to use Sandboxy. This is exactly the same thing here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we've got the iPod opened up here in the file browser. You can see we've got start.exe. This is the application you can use to start Mojo Pack. And I want to point out the size of the Windows folder. Now, it has grown since the last video because it was initially 672 kilobytes. That's how much space it took up on the disk. Now, I had someone point out that, well, that isn't really possible for a Windows XP installation to be slimmed down that much because a Windows 3.1 installation's Windows folder takes up more space than that. It takes up, at least in my virtual machine, which does have a couple of programs installed, so there could have been some files written to the Windows folder. It currently takes up almost 18 megabytes in size. So that probably makes some of you wonder, well, how is this possible? Well, it's not, because if we go into the Windows folder, you're missing a lot of files. Like, just to show you, let's open up the Windows folder from my computer here. We'll go to C, Windows, we'll show contents, and you can see there's a lot more files in here. We can highlight all of them. 132 items selected. How many do we got in here? 24. There's no executable files in this folder here. You go into System 32, and this is not a complete System 32 folder. The only exe is this tablet PC platform component here. And this is obviously because this is not a complete installation of Windows XP. Like I said, it's more like a sandboxed environment. And just to show you, if I go into the Start menu here, we're in the Mojo Pack environment now. I go to my computer and go into the C drive, or what it is, calling the C drive here, which is the iPod. You've got the same files here, but we go into the Windows folder, and you can see that we've got way more files in here, right? We've got Explorer, Notepad, Regedit, and just to show you if you're wondering, no, running Mojo Pack does not, automatically increase the size of the Windows folder on the disk, but Mojo Pack allows the environment to see that same folder. Even if I go back here and go to the E drive and go into Windows, it has all the same folders and files in here that it had on the C drive. So that's what Mojo Pack is doing. Mojo Pack is kind of artificially inflating the size of this by utilizing files from the host computer. So yeah, that's how Mojo Pack actually works. So I made some modifications to that original video by using YouTube's editing tool. So I edited out the part where I said, oh, this is just like any other virtual machine software like VMware or VirtualBox. No, it's not. That isn't true. And you're not going to be able to take this iPod and plug it into a computer and try to boot off of it. This also explains how Mojo Pack was even able to exist in the first place, because think about it. If Mojo Pack was a true virtual machine software, you would need to have a copy of Windows XP to install on it. And there's no way that Ringcube, who is the company behind MojoPack, would be able to give that to you for free, because keep in mind MojoPack was free to download for personal use. So for them to distribute a copy of XP, they would have to negotiate a licensing agreement with Microsoft, kind of like how an OEM has to do, and for them to make any money, they would have to charge you for the software. So just the very fact that the software is free is a pretty big...